What's up everybody, it's your boy Hokage here, welcome to the video. In case you haven't read the chapter, you're gonna have it in the pinned comment of this video. And without further ado, let's get into the review. If you guys saw my previous Boruto chapter review, I basically gave that chapter an 8.5 out of 10. And my main problem with the chapter was that, too many pages were spent on pure fighting, and I felt like a bit more could have happened. And at one point in the video, I made a comment saying how, I felt like some of these panels were kind of felt like filler. And, somebody got triggered in the comment section telling me that manga can't have filler. And I just want to clarify that I obviously know that manga cannot have filler. When I said filler, I meant like, some of these panels felt like they were just there to fill out the space between the pages. Like, I know that actual manga cannot be filler. So yeah, you just need to look at the context. And this chapter had, the same thing happened in this chapter. However, this chapter will get a 9 out of 10 from me because I just felt like it was better, and a very iconic moment happened, near the end, which I'm gonna get into, very soon, because I don't think there's too much to talk about here because it's just the fight and a couple of other things. So yeah, anyway, Naruto and Delta continue their fight, and obviously, Kawaki kind of confirms that in this chapter Naruto is stronger than Delta, but he's fighting like this because he wants to get Delta separated from the children, meaning that he's using good tactics. And one thing that I noticed for the past month or so, especially when chapter 31 came out, that's the previous chapter, a lot of people started saying how, Naruto matured, he's finally fighting using tactics or whatever, he's using his brain. And I'm like, okay, yeah, he definitely matured from Naruto Shippuden. He was 16 in Naruto Shippuden. I think he turned 17 at the end, at the end of the war. And now he's 30-something, so yeah, in about 15 years, you are gonna mature. But the point I'm trying to make is that Naruto always used to fight with some high-quality tactics. Yes, he was very silly as a person, outside of fighting, but in terms of fighting and stuff like that, he was always serious, and he always had some great tactics that would, generally, surprise the audience. So it's nothing new. Seeing Naruto using his brain in a fight, it's nothing new, right? So I just wanted to point that out because, people are kind of shitting on Naruto's intelligence from Naruto Shippuden, and I just felt like it was kind of unfair. But anyway, as I said, the tactical aspect of, Naruto's fighting strategy was great in my opinion, and I really, really enjoyed it. Now, you could see that Boruto was very frustrated throughout this chapter because he can't do much. Especially in the Boruto anime, you saw that if you watch the Boruto anime, you probably noticed that Boruto really wants to get strong, because eventually he wants to become a shinobi like Sasuke, somebody who's going to protect everything from the shadows or whatever. And it's really understandable that he is so frustrated because despite the fact that he trained so hard for the Rasengan and overall he definitely trained a lot, when you look at the entire series, but still he can't do shit against the likes of Delta. And, he was going to do something, but Kawaki pretty much tells him, don't. You're just going to interfere with Naruto's strategy or whatever. But obviously later on, Boruto got super scared because of his dad, and he interfered, and he kind of effed up. So yeah, now, the combat itself, between Naruto and Delta, that's what I'm talking about right now, it was enjoyable. Again, some of these panels felt fillerish. If you get what I mean, please don't take this out of context. I know that manga can have filler. Yeah. But anyway, it was great. A new power was revealed, like in terms of Delta's dojutsu, did they call it like beam of light? And apparently, even if you have fuck, I can't pronounce that word. Regeneration ability. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if you have regeneration abilities like Naruto, you're still gonna get fucked up, and that's a hex ability. And Naruto dodged it pretty easily. Oh yeah, Naruto used the lava style Rasen Shuriken, which I thought was very interesting. And anyway, that power from Delta's Dojutsu, like, that's very overpowered. Like, apart from some of the strongest ninjas, like, almost nobody would be able to dodge that. Like, obviously, if you have some knowledge about that power before fighting against Delta, maybe you can prepare for it, but a typical ninja won't really be able to dodge that, and that's a very strong ability. It was probably created with ninja tech, because I think Kawaki said that they set this power so that it can fight against people with strong regeneration abilities. So yeah, it's definitely ninja tech. It's not like, Delta has this godly dojutsu where she can do all this stuff. So yeah, also she can regenerate her legs all the time pretty much, and I'm just loving how OP Delta is. One more thing that really caught my attention is that, when Boruto threw the Vanishing Rasengan through that little machine that was in the sky or whatever, I don't know how to call it, Delta was able to see the Vanishing Rasengan, correct me if I'm wrong, and she easily absorbed it. I'm just waiting for her to fire it back at somebody. It might happen in the next chapter, which, by the way, I think the fight will end in the next chapter. I think that Kashin will interfere, because at the end of the day, Naruto is most likely stronger than Delta, and it's not like she's gonna die right now. I mean, Naruto might, increase his, the point I'm trying to make is that Naruto is using like 25% of his power right now, because he's not using any ninjutsu, because the village would explode, and he's not super serious yet. But now that Delta fucking tried to kill Himawari, he's probably gonna be a bit more serious, and he might even go for the kill. But as I said, I don't think that Delta will die this early. But then again, a week ago I did a video in which I said that the Boruto illustrator Ikimoto confirmed that he wants to finish Boruto within 30 volumes, meaning that we're gonna have between 100 and 120 chapters. And since this is chapter 32, nearly 1/3 of the series is done, so it's not really that early if you think about it. So now that I mentioned that, I actually think that Delta dying is slightly possible, I guess, but I still think that she won't die, right? I think Kashin will interfere and he's gonna save her. Now, when Boruto interfered with the fight, as I said, he fucked up, and Delta started paying attention to the kids, and she was about to kill Himawari. Naruto was gonna go there and save her, and boom, Kawaki saves her. And that moment, Kawaki saving Himawari, Naruto was probably gonna get there, but then Naruto would be heavily damaged. So I guess he either saved Himawari or Naruto, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who he saved. The point is that he was willing to sacrifice himself for somebody else. That's a massive character progression for Kawaki's character. But what was I saying? Yeah, that moment is the only reason why this chapter gets a 9 out of 10 and not 8.5. Because as I said, the previous chapter got 8.5, and this chapter had a similar vibe to chapter 31, but this moment is just too iconic for me to give it 8.5, just like how I gave it to the previous chapter. So 9 out of 10, that's still a great score. And Kawaki most likely doesn't have his arm anymore. Part of his arm. And if you guys remember earlier in the Boruto manga, I think Boruto got this mission from Naruto to deliver the scientific arm or whatever. Like, I can't remember exactly what the case was, but maybe Kawaki will get that arm right now. Because in case he doesn't have his arm anymore, because it was stated that Delta's power is specifically made so that people with regeneration abilities can't regenerate. So yeah, Sakura versus Delta would be an interesting fight, by the way, or Tsunade versus Delta. But yeah, Sakura versus Delta would be more interesting. What was I saying? Like 9 out of 10. That's still a great score, and when Kawaki saved Himawari, and he mentioned the vase thing, and he said, "We're even right now, Boruto," and that was a very emotional moment in my opinion. Like, I got emotional when I was reading it. because if you guys remember when Kawaki was introduced, he was super traumatized. I mean, he's still traumatized, but he kind of became more empathetic, if you get what I mean. I'm really enjoying his character development, and my love for Kawaki's character just grew even more in this chapter. Kashin Koji wasn't seen in this chapter at all. As I said earlier in this video, I think that he's gonna, interfere in the next chapter. I think he's gonna save Delta because Naruto is probably gonna go for the kill or something like that. If that happens, I can't wait to see Naruto's reaction to Kashin Koji. Because I just can't wait to see it. Like, imagine Kashin Koji uses the Toad Summoning or the Rasengan in front of Naruto. Like, Naruto might think for a second, holy shit, is that Jiraiya? I obviously said this many times in the past. I'm 100% sure that Kashin Koji is not Jiraiya. I'm just saying white hair, similar jutsus. Naruto might get confused for a moment. That's what I'm trying to say. And I can't wait for the next chapter in the next couple of days, or maybe in a couple of weeks, I don't know. But in the near future, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to make a predictions video for the next chapter. But until then, stay tuned for more Boruto content. That was your boy Hokage. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and second channel links are in the description of this video. Let me know what you thought about this chapter in the comment section of this video. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.